Registrar, Chief Executive, JAM, the miracle worker, propelled by integrity and service to country. His appointment as Registrar and Chief Executive of Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, elicited plaudits from many quarters. While some described him as a square peg in a square hole, others signed him off as the man who brought unprecedented dynamism to the examination and placement body since his first tenure in office from August 6, 2015. Professor Ishak Oloyede is an erudite academic and accomplished public servant. Born on October 10, 1954, Oloyede hails from Abeokuta South local government area of Ogun State. He has in his stint in office brought higher tempo to public service. He has piloted a hitherto huge money-losing establishment into a revenue generation agency in more than 4 decades. With the benefit of synergy in financial management through technology, the Oloyede administration in JAM drove the organization to annual remittances that grew the figures, ranking it in the league of top government agencies with high revenue generating capacities like the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, and Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, amongst others. Thus came the end of an era in the JAM, where hitherto snakes were credited with swallowing millions of naira. Of course, making money for the government will attract negative reactions from critics and traducers, some of whom berated the agency for driving some applicants to continue sitting for exams more than 3 times before eventually gaining admission into the tertiary institutions of their choice. But Oloyede was not one to steer away from the challenge. He maintained that it was important for applicants to study well to pass the University Test Measurement Examination, UTME, before being admitted into any tertiary institution. Oloyede is a Fellow of the Islamic Academy of Cambridge, United Kingdom, Fellow, Academy of Entrepreneurship, Fellow, All Nigerian Institute Management, Fellow, Institute of Arabic and Islamic Studies, and Fellow, Association of Islamic Religious Studies, amongst others. He has served on the boards of many university organizations, including being the chairman, Committee of Directors of Academic Planning in Nigerian Universities, 2002 to 2004, and President, Association of African Universities. He also served on the Board of Association of Commonwealth Universities, ACU, 2010 to 2012, and International Association of Universities, 2008 to 2012. He was appointed co-secretary of the National Political Reform Conference by then President Olusegun Obasanjo in 2006, and also a member of the 2014 National Political Conference. Currently in his second term as the Chief Executive of JAM, which began in August 2021, Oloyede had served as the Vice-Chancellor, University of Ilorin, from October 2007 to October 2012, and Chairman, Association of Vice-Chancellors of Nigeria Universities, as well as the Committee of Vice-Chancellors from 2011 to 2012. For his numerous achievements in the management of public funds, accountability in office, and transparency, this Nigerian newspaper hereby confers on him Gold Prize in Public Service.
May I then invite to make the presentation Eric Osage, Bishop Kuka, and Professor Redia.
Hello.
On behalf of the management of Thisnigeria Media Limited, it is my honor and pleasure to present this plaque to Professor Ishak Oloyede, Registrar Chief Executive JAMB, in recognition of his impeccable integrity and selfless service to country. Congratulations.
On behalf of Professor Ishak Oloyede, I want to thank the organizers of this program for the recognition of his contribution, not only to the development of the educational sector, but the development of the country as a whole. I also feel highly honored to be in the midst of some of the greatest Nigerians. Governor Wike, the INEC chairman, Bishop Kuka, Azan Kuka, my comrade Ozekeme, Dr. Iridia, and my comrade Isarem. Once again, I thank the organizers of this program for this great honor.
Okay. And while he's moving off the stage, may I invite Chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakub. Citation.
Gold Prize in Public Service. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, Chairman, INEC. Walking the minefield with head high. Variously described as a bold dreamer, a man who dares to conquer. Both adjectives aptly captures the incumbent electoral umpire in Nigeria. Since his graduation with a first-class honors in history, the first from the University of Sokoto, now Usmanu Danfodio University, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu has never lost his track on the indelible sands of time as an erudite intellectual. Until his elevation to the coveted position as the 13th chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, he was a professor of political history and international studies, and later, Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education TED Fund. Yakubu succeeded Tahiru Jega as the substantive chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in 2015. That was after he was sworn into office by President Muhammadu Buhari on October 21, 2015, as replacement to the then acting chairman, Amina Zakari. Yakubu's job as the electoral umpire is expectedly laden with mines, given our peculiar political environment, but he remains undaunted, forging ahead with the tenacity of a bull. In fact, on January 7, 2019, his commission released a new voting system for the country for the 2019 general election, barely 900 days to a presidential election, and he recorded immeasurable success. This capacity was also demonstrated recently in the earlier Anambra governorship election, where he performed creditably despite logistic challenges. Yakubu was born in 1962 in Bauchi State, northern Nigeria. He completed his basic and secondary school education at Kobe Primary School and Government Teachers College, Toro, respectively. He proceeded to the University of Sokoto, now Usmanu Danfodio University, where he became the first and, to date, only Nigerian from the north to obtain a first-class degree in history. At the postgraduate level, he studied international relations at Wolfson College, Cambridge, graduating with master's degree in 1987, and Nigerian history at the University of Oxford, graduating with a doctorate in 1991. Professor Yakubu, as one of the public officers who is literally walking the minefield with gallantry, he is winner of our Gold Prize in Public Service.
And to make the presentation, may I invite former Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase.
behalf of the management of Thisnigeria, this gold prize for public service is given to you, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, in recognition of his courageous, transparent, and innovative leadership in managing elections in Nigeria. Congratulations, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just very briefly say a few words, all protocols observed. I want to thank Thisnigeria Nigeria, particularly the publisher Eric Osagi. He has been a friend, a columnist, an editor, an MD of a newspaper, and now a publisher. Perhaps he is one of the few people in Nigeria that can bring the INEC chairman to this kind of occasion. At this point, after just concluding the Anambra election, we are preparing for the FCT Area Council election. We are preparing for 2 more governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun, and in between, we have 7 by-elections to conduct, the last of which only occurred on Sunday in Plateau State. So it's a very busy period for us. So let me thank you, Eric. In INEC, we are used to more of condemnation than commendation. So when condemnation comes, when commendation comes, particularly from a friend like Eric, we truly, truly appreciate it. It's good to see so many of my good friends here. Ledu Miti, good to see you again. We haven't been in touch for some time. And the former Inspector General of Police, Arase. I recall in December 2015, you came to the commission and we drove together to Lokoja for the stakeholders meeting ahead of the governorship election. And thereafter, we proceeded to Port Harcourt, stayed the night, and drove all the way to Yenagoa for another governorship election. Good to see you, Arase. This honor and recognition is dedicated to all the hardworking staff of INEC. But I would also like to dedicate this to those who have constructively criticized the commission. We cherish constructive criticisms. As a teacher all my life, there can't be new knowledge, there can't be progress without constructive criticisms. And I would also like to recognize the role of the National Peace Committee. Bishop Kuka is here, chaired by our respected former head of state, General Abdusalami Abubakar. But let me also recognize a category of Nigerians that are hardly recognized, and they play a very, very critical role in conducting elections in the country. Here I'm not referring to the security agencies, they play a very good role. I'm not referring to the other stakeholders, political parties, the media, civil society organizations, but I'm referring to the election duty staff, those young Nigerians on the national service. I said this over and over, that you are among the most educated, the most hardworking, the most readily available election duty staff in Nigeria. INEC can simply not do without you. In fact, I recognized the critical role of the NYSC when we traveled to the Republic of Liberia for their election. The Electoral Commission was battling with where to get election duty staff. They were looking for teachers and other categories of staff. And the chairman, my good friend, Councillor Kokoya, turned around and said, you know, in Nigeria, you have no issues at all. The number of young Nigerians serving the nation in the National Youth Service Corps is probably half the population of the Republic of Liberia. And so in that respect, you have no issues with capacity. So once again, Eric, thank you. I want to seize this opportunity to assure and reassure Nigerians that our elections can only continue to get better. Don't worry, Eric, because the moderator, Tony Iradia, said something. You know, this program was supposed to start at 10. It didn't start at 10. So I leaned towards him and said that, oh, Eric's polling unit has not opened on time. But the outcome of the process is credible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And maybe you need to understand the connection between the INEC chairman and Professor Heredia. At a point in his career, Professor Heredia was the spokesman for INEC. So he's also an election person, not just an NTA person.